Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced way back in 2015, and 5 years later, we finally have a game. I've been on pins and needles about this release because Final Fantasy VII was the first game I played in the series, and this is where I found that I enjoyed farming and grinding levels. I wasn't sure what to expect with this game, so I just assumed this would just be a frame-for-frame remake of the original one. I even had my old strategy guide for help. You can choose between difficulties, but I've been playing on normal mode on my first run and easy mode for cleaning up the last few trophies. There are 4 controllable characters: Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, and Barret. Red 13 joins the party, but you can't play him. Each character has a unique skill that doesn't use ATB, but it has some drawbacks, so you can't abuse it. Cloud has Punisher mode that increases the stagger meter, but you're way slower. Tifa has Whirling Uppercut that has a small hitbox, so if you want to make it effective, you'll need to be right up by an enemy to optimize. Otherwise, you'll just uppercut into air. Barret has a move called Overcharge that does mass damage, fills his ATB quickly, and locks him in place while charging. Another downside is that it's slow to refill unless you smash triangle, but that too locks him in place. Aerith has Tempest that you'll need to charge. The longer you hold it, the more damage dealt, but during the charge, she can't move. The special moves are obtained from your weapons and spells from materia. Some need 1 or 2 ATB bars, but if you're willing to switch between characters to gain AP faster, it won't be an issue. This game also has limit breaks, and you get one from the start, but to gain another, you'll need to do some events at Corneo Coliseum. When you're in battle, you'll be the leader of the party, and the others will just auto-attack or block. If you want to change the leader, you can do so in battle settings. Your other party members won't do much, so you'll need to swap often to get those special moves or spells in. There wasn't a way for this game to be turn-based like the original, so updating the combat system while keeping the ability to manually use spells and special moves was a nice throwback. I'm glad that random encounters weren't grandfathered into this game. It would have ruined the pace of the story and gameplay. So when you get to the Shinra combat simulators or Corneo Coliseum, these were a clever way to remedy the level grinding provided by the random encounters. I was really upset playing throughout this game, and honestly, I blame my strategy guide. Sometimes 2 chapters would be 1 or 2 pages, and I had started to assume that most of this remake was filler. It wasn't until the last chapter that I was able to piece everything together. What I had thought was filler was a new timeline. The Whispers weren't friend or foe, but the Fate Police trying to keep the original timeline in place. That's why Barret came back to life, why Aerith was saved, and why the Whispers kept your party from certain areas. There were a few questions unanswered that hopefully the next game will expand on, like how Sephiroth knows of the original timeline, and does Aerith know of it too, or is this just her ancient powers? When it comes to time travel and alternate reality stories, they're incredibly tricky to pull off without proper planning, but so far this game has enough foundation built to make something work. Overall, I had a great time playing this game. The trophies aren't that hard to obtain, and once you've completed the game, you'll be able to jump from chapter to chapter. This makes it loads easier to complete things you've missed on your first run. Hands down, this is a great game. So the real question here, is the game worth getting now or wait until the second game comes out? Really, it's whether you care about spoilers. If you don't care, wait for the second game. You'll be able to get the first one at a discount and be able to play part 2 when you're done. Or get the game now and wait like me another 5 years for a game to come out. Just remember, when you're playing, just be patient, let the story unravel, and don't expect a frame-for-frame remake like I did.